Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we will talk about a quite relevant topic for especially many of the students at the moment, because the new semester is starting, or maybe in other countries has started already. Since we're living in Germany, Germany is always quite late, so we still have holidays, but maybe also a few of you have already started going back to university. And so today we want to give you a few tips and some advice on how to stay organized during the semester and how to start the semester right.
Yes, so the tip number one is get organized. So what is my suggestion? When I go to the classes and I'm on the first class, I see the schedule for the whole semester and I instantly put it to my calendar. I use my calendar on my phone and on my laptop. It's, how do you call it? It's the Apple one?
The Apple calendar. Yeah, I think there are many different kinds of digital calendars.
Or Google calendars, so many prefer this one. And I really like it because I can see in my screen and also on my phone at the same time what is ahead of me, and I do a basic planning of the whole, of the upcoming months. So for me this is really useful to have it digitally so I can have it wherever I am. What do you say, Catherine?
I have to say, like, even though I'm like working kind of, I often or almost only work digitally, when it comes to my appointments, like just my private appointments, I really like the normal calendar that I can just write something in with my hand and then, I don't know, cross it as soon as it's done or something. So I think you really have to figure it out for yourself what's best for you, if you rather work with a digital calendar or if you want to like traditionally write something with your hand. So yeah, I think that's just in the end everyone's own choice. Just what we want to say is it's important to have a calendar, otherwise you just can't keep everything in your head, and even if you want to, then your head is so full with like trying to remember all the appointments and deadlines, so yeah, that you can't remember other things, right?
Yes.
I think it's such a relief just to write everything down on a calendar and then it's like out of my head.
Yeah, you don't need to think about it, and you are most likely to forget things when you don't write it down. But I need to say that for me, especially, I do write my calendar and I have my things online or digitally written, but when it comes to my to-do list, I really love it to write it by hand, because that feeling of crossing it off is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, like, I think so too.
You can like just throw it to the trash and be happy you did everything. And also I suggest for it, write down everything what is in your head, schedule it what's important, what is not important, and then when you get to it, it will be done.
Yeah, I really like to-do lists. Like, no matter if you do it online or if you just write it, as you said, I also really like it just to write it down and then cross it and throw it away. But in general, to-do lists are so useful and such a relief, especially I think at night before you go to bed. And if you remember, you always remember, like, I have to do this tomorrow, I have to do this tomorrow, and then I can't sleep. I just write it down and then it's out of my head and I can just go to bed.
Yes, exactly. So that's the best way. And what I also like to do is to categorize them according to university, work, some like what I will need to shop, do groceries, laundry, and then you see what has bigger importance or lower importance.
That's true. That's very important. Just like, when you, I would say even like a month before the semester starts, already check the classes, like if you are able to choose some courses, check it, and how you register for it, and other important events, important deadlines. I don't know, how do you handle deadlines? I always try to not push it until the end of the deadline. I try to do it as early as possible. How do you do it?
So for me, I have them written, but when I don't feel the pressure to get it done, then it's for me harder to start it, or I find so many other interesting things to do. But then when I have a deadline, I will sit in the library from 8 AM to 12 and then I get it done. But I need this outside pressure and motivation. So
that's also, I think that's very different for everyone. I think that's what everyone has to figure out for him or herself, because I cannot deal with time pressure. I could never sit, like on the last day before I have to submit something, I could not sit from 8 AM to midnight in the library and finish it. Never. Like, the quality would be super bad from what I do there, so I need to do it in advance. But
for me, it's not that I do it the last day possible, but I know that, okay, now it's a week and I have a week to do this essay, and then in that week I sit down, because doing research before, for me, Like honestly, doing papers is not what I love to do, so
No, me neither.
when I can push it to the lightest minute, I do it. But exactly, everyone is different, and you need to see how you like to study, what you are capable of doing. For example, I know people that study from the first day of the semester because for them it's better, but for me, yeah, I do the assignments, but the core preparation starts before. Going back to the beginning of the semester, I think the second tip is to do a big research, what you can do and what you can do in this semester, outside of the courses. So what do you say, Catherine? What is the most important thing?
So I really, really love doing other stuff besides courses because, I don't know, it's just also important to have different things. And I think it also really depends on what you want to do. If you say right from the beginning, no, I only want to study and I don't want to do anything besides the classes, that's fine. But I think if you want to do something, then you should already really look for everything that your university offers in advance. For example, I did that when I started studying here, and I found a really, really cool student initiative that I'm now in. And yeah, I just wrote it down that it exists and that I don't forget to go to like the info event in the beginning of the semester. I went there and that was like a really, really good choice. So yeah, but I could have never got the information if I didn't like try to research beforehand.
And what did it bring it to you, this initiative? You can tell us more.
So it's an initiative about startups and bringing this entrepreneurial thinking closer to students and show them that it's an alternative to maybe start your own startup or work in a startup after university and not start in a big corporate or something. And yeah, that was really interesting to come in touch with these topics, and I also got a really, really good network. I met a lot of new people, a lot of new friends. So I would really recommend, if you're the type for doing something voluntary besides your classes, student initiatives are a really, really good thing. Also to find new friends.
Yes, exactly. I mean, maybe it's not for all the type of the choices or the universities you can attend. For example, I know that my brother studies medicine, and for him it's not really feasible to do so. But if you have the choice, if you have the time and motivation, I think it's a great...
then you should definitely do it,
Yeah, exactly. Or there is also a buddy program that you did. I think it's a cool opportunity.
Yeah, if you, for example, want to come in touch with foreign students, then you could, I think almost every university offers this program, right? Because almost every university accepts exchange students from other countries, and you could become a buddy and help exchange students when they arrive here. And I did that once, and I helped a Japanese girl with her bank account and moving into her dorm, and starting her life here in Germany. And she was really thankful in the end, and she even became a friend of mine. And yeah, that was a really, really good experience. So that's also something you can do, or look for a tandem partner, like a foreign, like if you want to learn a specific language, you could find a student from that country that you can regularly talk to. So that's also an opportunity.
Yeah, and I think it's also great when you go to application interview and you can show your social engagement. That's what companies are really looking for nowadays.
That's true.
It's also useful for your career, I would say. Maybe not the body, maybe not in that high matter, but it also can help you. What is a tip from me? I would research for the opportunities when it comes to the digital space. What I mean, many universities, when you enter them, you have possibilities to get for free the whole Microsoft Office. So it means Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Outlook, and it's really useful to have these tools in the latest version.
Because it's so expensive. If you have to buy the license for all of this stuff, then it's kind of expensive for a student. So you can as a student, you can get it for free.
You can get it for free, so definitely use this opportunity and try to install it before semester, because sometimes it's really tricky to get to it. And also what universities do, many times they offer PC courses for students. So for example, at every university you can take PC courses in Excel, PowerPoint, Word, and many other useful programs, for example Photoshop as well, for really cheap price, maybe like 30 euros, and you get a certificate. You do it during the weekend, and then you really expand your skills and you know how to progress some things. And of course you can discuss, oh, I can do it at Skillshare during my 3-month trial, but okay, honestly, whoever took the time took the time for 2 days to just learn about Photoshop? And also you as a student probably won't buy Photoshop instantly because it's quite expensive, and you can get to know this tool in the university, get certificate, improve your skills. That always saves you time, and it's also
definitely
good
useful
to have.
And Karen, you like to dance, right? So universities also offer some sports classes, right? What do you recommend?
So usually at university you have the sport classes, for example football, dancing. These courses are much cheaper than the ones that are on private schools, private dancing schools, or at football initiatives, and you can get to dance and try new stuff much more cheaper than you would do in a normal school. And also what I recommend, for example in Czech, I took a self-defense class and it really opened my eyes, and I got to do it and saved so much money on these activities.
That's true. So all in all, we would just say that you should definitely use the time that you have before the semester starts, because as soon as the semester starts, all your professors will annoy you with, you should read this book, and then there's this deadline and this. So if you have some time before the semester starts, look at everything what university offers, and just write everything down, write down deadlines, write down when some information events are, and so on.
And go to them, because many times on these events you can get some more information and also get free stuff that is always useful for students. Slavic life.
Okay, so I think these were our most important tips for starting the semester right and doing research before and stuff. Definitely a very, very, very last tip that probably almost no student follows is you should maybe already start organizing the stuff that you have to study, or even if you need more time, start studying in the beginning of the semester. That's super hard, and I say this every semester, and then I don't really start studying, and then the exams come, and then I really regret that I didn't start studying.
Also, one other tip I just remembered, in the beginning of semester, look at the student platforms where are the courses you actually attend, and you can get some tips for studying, or even the materials up front, so that's quite useful.
That's true. That's just an advice that I never really follow that much myself, but I still would give you the advice because you really, really regret it in the exam time.
True.
Okay, so I think that was it from our side. We decided that we do one thing in the end of every video. We teach you a word in German and the same word in Slovak. So today's word is exam. That definitely every student suffers from during the semester, and in German we would say